boards actually got that campaign done pretty well, so I think we're in pretty good shape. I think we're just missing one of our committee members or board members. So I think we did a great job of that. So that's something we'll have to consider, that one objective. The next is develop a long-range plan for our board. And then the next one is develop and implement an ongoing public educational plan. And the next one is have a presence at the Fayetteville Street Committee meetings. And I think, as Sue had mentioned, that it would be really nice to have a presence at the actual city council meetings at least once a year, so we won't be in isolation. We'll be able to have our presentation and present what we have, what we do here at the Urban Forestry Advisory Board. Have a presence at the farmers market occasionally as part of the educational plan. And then something that we've definitely accomplished, have a tree and landscape award to honor, actually it'd be the Urban Forestry Landscape Award, to honor a neighborhood business or group that's made a significant contribution to the community. And I think that that one to me kind of reflects on the award that we do every year. So I think that's one that we have and that we'll obviously continue doing. Sponsor an annual tree giveaway. And then the last was develop a program to make trees available when needed. And that last one, we hashed that quite a bit. Allison will have a lot of information on that we tried to think about having our own nursery, the tree nursery, but that after making several trips and discussing it, that just did not seem to be an optimal plan, because that would mean that not only would we have to have somebody there, probably have to have a full-time person that would have to be managing that with the pay, and obviously the city does not have enough money to have a full-time person to manage the nursery. And then to have, not only that, but have a group of trees. Say have this tree that we're going to have to plant this year, and then have another. I mean, it would have to be several groups of trees, so that after a lot of discussion, even though it sounded like a wonderful idea, and I really appreciate the people that had that dream, we eventually, I think, just totally let that one go, and just because we could probably have Jeremy put in about how hard that would be to have our own nursery at the city. But the city does have other kind of nurseries for some of the plantings, for the annuals and some of the bushes. So we do have that existing in the city, but to have a tree nursery just seemed a little bit too much to deal with. So I'm sure that somebody on the committee would go ahead and axe that last one.
Do we need to kind of go through these and decide whether we're going to keep them or not?
So I think, yes, so I think it would be really good, because as you mentioned and several have discussed the last meeting, it would be really nice to get some goals and objectives for our board. So we can refer to that every year or so and say, well, did we achieve this? Did we answer this? Did we do this? So not only put the goals out there, but then have a checklist of what did we accomplish and anything we need to add. So I think we can go ahead and have anybody, you guys, jump in and make recommendations on what we want to keep, what we want to eliminate from the list, or what we want to add to the list.
I'll move right now that we eliminate starting a tree nursery.
Okay. Well, okay.
I'm not going to go water.
Okay. So, any discussion on that? So I'm assuming we probably don't even need to make a vote on that.
I'm assuming you're right.
Okay. So that will be eliminated. What about some of the other ones?
Let me ask about the video. Have we made a video other than the one Megan and Dawn did on invasives? But that doesn't sound like it fits this criteria.
We have not, to my knowledge, we have not made a video on something pertaining to trees and landscape.
I think the Extension Service has one, don't they? Or the Master Gardeners or somebody have a video. I don't think we need to duplicate what
Right,
they may have done.
right. So,
I'll move, we have a video on invasives, so I move we get rid of the video.
okay,
Let's,
what
I
about?
was thinking, of course, I haven't saw the literature you put with the trees at the tree giveaway. Having that in my mind, a lot of times I see trees that are planted way too deep. And so that might be just a quick little informative video. But I don't know if the extension, they already have.
Joe
something.
Klingman did one on planting a
Okay.
tree.
And if that case, we can, link to that, that would work as well.
Yeah, that's, if the issue is airing those on CAT, then perhaps we need to coordinate with
Oh, that's a good
Cooperative
idea.
Extension and see what is available now. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Could we put that on the government channel then? Because I don't know if CAT, do they, but I know we have a government channel, and that would be really neat to air that before our tree giveaway, to kind of put that in, and since the trees are going to be given away next month, if we can have a little, that can be presented on our channel,
That's
on the
one
government
on planting.
planting. So if someone can,
Yeah, let's check with the Extension Office and if they, I think it was originally done on videotape. I don't know if there's a way to digitalize that, but.
if not, we can have
Check and see
Jeremy,
if
we
they-
can get Jeremy to, and Ken and Derek, and Allison, we can get the four of them together and make a brand
We should be
new.
able to figure it out.
Don't you think we can do a new,
Okay.
because we could possibly use, the city's equipment to do that, so if it's too old or whatever, but let's say, we'll check into that. And
Okay.
if so, it'd be really nice to have a,
I don't know if you
something.
think we could get one made by October 12th? The Extension doesn't have one?
No.
I don't think that will happen.
Okay,
we'll
that's
put
a
that
lot,
on
but
It might look like the Keystone Cop.
Tree
Yeah,
planting
somebody-
and curing video, if Extension doesn't have one, we'll stay on the list then.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
perhaps in lieu of a video, given the short time span, maybe it could just be an info flyer, kind of like
That would be
a
good.
printout of a PDF, that's just an image that has some major bullet points of things that you want to communicate with the public.
Let me ask Jeremy, I'm getting distressed at the number of trees that have mulch just piled up so high
Oh, I
around
know.
them. Like- Yeah, I mean, it's worse than smothering them with dirt almost. Do we need to-
There's some dirt would be worse, because mulch actually, well,
Does
A
it
little bit
It's-
of aeration, but not a lot.
what mulch does more so than dirt will generally just smother the roots out pretty much completely. Mulch will stimulate new roots, and those most always end up turning into early roots. So those are, it's kind of, it lets the tree, it kind of gives the appearance that it's not as bad, but it's just as bad long term. It just takes longer to show its ugly head.
Well, let's put something in the information about not mounding up the mulch so bad.
Yes.
Okay.
So you want it after
I mean, it's
flare.
not doing the tree any favors.
Okay, are there any others?
We had an off-site meeting, and what does that mean?
We had the offsite meeting at,
At the VA, does that count?
it was up at Mount Sequoia Trail. I forget the name of that trail up there.
That's
Yeah,
when we
because
were
you were there.
gonna do
Yeah.
the video. We've had one, that wasn't a meeting. I think there was a meeting at Karen Relay's house, where they filmed. You were on the board.
Doesn't it say for
Karen
some
Relay
purpose,
Crocker,
like
where
an
there was a
educator?
demonstration on native plants.
Right,
That was an off-site meeting.
right. And even to look at
Read
the.
it again and see what it says there about an off-site meeting. I thought it.
Okay. Have at least one off-site meeting to generate community interest in the committee.
We didn't
or
have
in the board.
anybody attend any of those meetings, though, did we, community?
But it was kind of,
In
well,
January-
you know what?
January, we went to Mount Sequoia Woods, and
Uh-huh.
the media was there, but
That
They
was
were
more for the
supposed to be
filming.
there.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
what about the most
I mean, it
recent?
wasn't-
The Urban Forestry Awards, both of those were open to the public,
Right,
and nobody
right.
showed up.
And also the one that, the most recent thing dealing with removing the bush honeysuckle from Gully Park.
No, that wasn't,
Right.
that was Pete Heinzelman's.
Yeah, but I
Right.
meant, but we were invited to that, that would
Mhm.
possibly kind of.
That could have been a great cooperative meeting.
There were
I mean,
quite a few
because it
people.
mentioned the parks and rec.
I think the idea behind this was to advertise it as an urban forestry advisory board meeting so that people would become aware of the board and what they do.
Right.
Because this was these goals were developed at a time where, if you look at the letterhead.
We were trying to
half
get members.
full. So,
Yeah.
that was the
Well,
way.
I don't know that it needs to still be a goal.
Right.
I mean, we have meetings off-site, but people pretty much expect meetings to be at City Hall. So I don't think we're doing the meeting to educate the public.
And,
So I would be in favor of eliminating that one.
Okay.
yeah, that does sound like a quarterly meeting, or a monthly meeting.
We could still meet someplace else, but it just doesn't have to be a goal.
Right, exactly.
Same as the 4 positions, I think we're okay with that.
Yeah, I think we're fine on that. So, so let's see, the ones, and I'm gonna mark out these.
Does anybody go to street committee meetings? Do you go, Derek?
I don't, right now.
Ken?
Not so far.
Was this intended to be that we send staff or that we send one of us?
That, just send one of us.
When does the street committee meet?
They're meeting this week on the 16th. I think it's called the Transportation Committee now.
But I think we can change that, instead of having presence at the street committee, that we should have presence at the city council once a year.
I want us
Can
to
we
make a
change that?
presentation.
Okay. So let's change that to have a presentation.
I'm good with that. That's good. And if anybody would like to go to a street committee meeting, they may.
Right, yes, it's open, they can do that. Have a presentation at city council. And then develop and implement, what is the next one that we have? Okay, that second one's out. Develop a long-range plan for the urban forestry. I don't know, what does that
Why don't
actually,
we
that's a
let-
little bit open, I mean, it's a little bit too open, isn't it?
I'm wondering if we need to let Ken and Derek kind of take our revised list as it is and
So,
work on
yeah,
it some more next time.
okay, so why don't we, okay, so
And let's
Derek,
think about what we want to do for a long-range plan and how we're going
Okay,
to implement
okay.
public ed.
and then have a presence at the farmer's market, that might be okay. But I think the main thing is to eliminate the last about develop the trees, develop a plan to have the trees available, because that was the nursery. Eliminate, have the off-site meeting, eliminate, launch a campaign, and then change be a presence of the city, street committee, change that to have a presentation for the city council, at least once a year. And I think that,
What about conduct a study on the benefits and problems with the city? Isn't that something the city kind of already does? Because
We did the canopy assessment last year, and I think that
okay,
helps
that's
cover
what we're
that.
wondering.
I was
Because the
talking to
board-
Debbie about that. Didn't Megan have some plan to redo this tree inventory or whatever she called it?
Yes, we were working towards sort of a phase 2, as far as the canopy assessment was phase 1, phase 2 was gonna be the tree inventory. With the change in staff and all the projects that we have going on right now, we haven't been able to pick that back up, but it is still on the radar. We wanna kind of get through the fall and get through the tree escrow project and the celebration of trees, and then hopefully we can pick that back up.
Then in the winter, nothing else to do.
Right, it goes on in the winter.
So that would fit in with the needs and benefits.
Keep the canopy assessment. Okay.
What I would like to see added would be to evaluate the tree code.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
been,
that's really
to
good.
my knowledge, it's been a long time since it's even been
Yeah,
disinfect.
Well, that's
We've got it.
established goal by ordinance, and we made revisions in 2010.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a good job in that, and that's one of the things I have in my box is big stack things.
But
so.
really, it wouldn't hurt to do it every year.
Yeah, it's actually due for at least a review this year, so.
So you can bring that up.
It's 3 years by code, it's everything.
Okay.
3 years at
Okay.
least.
So I think we've got that kind of,
You had mentioned at the last meeting, and basically the presentation to the city council is the state of the trees, state of the city trees
Yeah.
report to the council. I think that is a great idea, and I'm happy to see that standing there, or being revised. And you did say, and so we can get it right, you did say annually or at each city council?
I would think
Oh,
annually,
I don't
just
mean a
annually.
report of each
Right.
meeting, but.
I would think just an annual update, this, we are here and this is what we did this year.
Mhm.
Since we're an advisory board.
Mhm.
I don't think they'd let us come back.
Well, I mean, this gets back to the street committee attendance.
Right.
Whether you actually want to have a goal of a member being at the council meeting every meeting.
No, I think once
We
a
don't
year,
want
the
to
city
know.
council would be fine, you know. But Sue, that is yours, and print it off, thank you. So, and I scribbled on it
I think it was
even more.
yours.
Yeah, it was mine originally, and I scribbled on it, and everybody, we made a copy of it, so. Okay, and so that will be, we'll go over that again next month, we'll kind of clean it up a bit. Thanks, Derek, for putting that out for everybody. Are there any other business or announcements that we have?
I have
Yes,
an
we
announcement.
have. Oh, go ahead.
October 27th, if that is a Sunday. First United Presbyterian Church is having a work day on the church grounds as part of our effort to become an earth care congregation and be sustainable, in which we will be removing invasive and exotic plants on the church grounds. And Don and I go to the same church, so.
And what's the location?
First United Presbyterian Church.
On Calvin.
And we may need some assistance from the city in removing the brush piles that will be resulting.
I will go up there. I grew up on the bottom half of the
Did you?
Been up there many times. Since the ice storm, the trail going behind there is almost impassable. It's, there's a cemetery back from the late 1800s back in there.
We actually have a parkland back there. Bruce Hummel Parkland.
I was wondering who owned the property. I just thought I was trespassing on somebody's
The
You were
cemetery's
then.
owned by the county.
But now you're not.
The cemetery belongs to the county.
Right.
We use it for paupers, I think. So anybody's welcome to come.
I think we had a guest. Yes.
Oh, hello, Aubrey Shepherd. I wanted to invite you for something Sunday afternoon from 1 to 5. It's a visit to an area with a lot of native plants, but with still some invasives to be removed as time permits. It's Pinnacle Foods property. It's just west of World Peace Wetland Prairie. And a city trail, paved trail, goes through it. It's called Pinnacle Prairie Trail, quite logically. But anyhow, this is the best year they have cooperated, the corporation has cooperated by not mowing during the growing season. You probably know about prairies. You only have light fire through there in the winter, or you mow it once in the winter. You never mow between 1st of April and the end of November, preferably just December, January, February. But it's hard to mow those times sometimes, so they don't get mowed at all. But the areas with their frequent mowing, which most corporations do if they've got some prairie land, it'll be in the summer, gets tall, they'll be afraid the city will come tell them to mow it down. They don't do it. And they'll also worry about things like rats getting in their factory or something from the prairie. Well, those little critters that live on the prairie don't go in buildings, you know, they're different from the ones that you find in your house. But anyhow, this is a chance to see it from this paved trail. And you can see the sea of yellow, and there are several species, of course, yellow, aster family primarily, and so forth out there right now. And there are also still some milkweed just past bloom with pods and so forth. There are numerous species too small to even find unless you're out there looking for them, but they're all beautiful. And I've got, I think it's 11,000 photos from Temple Prairie over the last decade and a half. Most of them posted, just the ones from 2007 till now, you'll have a high percentage of them posted on Flickr because I don't have that kind of fancy storage display place back here. But anyhow, excuse me. What we'll do is try to have some people, like some of you guys that want to do it, maybe that want to actually walk with a few people and share identification. It works best with a group as big as all of us at once is too many to, because instead of sort of winding through the tall grass out there, and we do have great stands of big blue stem Indian grass and several other natives out there. And it's, as I say, it's rained just the right amount this summer to get them up there. But right now it's not supporting the flowers staying in bloom very well, unfortunately. But anyhow, from 1 to 5, it's a drop-in thing. If you know where World Peace Wetland Prairie is, if you don't, it's on South Duncan Avenue. And it's a little city nature area. And you can see samples of many of those plants right there in the front. But if you go down to 12th Street, as if you're going to 15th from 11th on Duncan, this is all south of the new Hill Place apartment complex. And south, go south on Hill Avenue from what used to be Brenda's Bigger Burger. I'm sure it's gone. Many people miss it. But anyway, 12th Street is just a short segment of 12th Street from Duncan back to that prairie entrance. And you'll see the trail begins there and it goes over to the Hill Place apartments. And it will be a future part of the overall trail. You can go through those Hill Place apartments and get to the new section of Solid Trail that will be opened up through the tunnel under the railroad. Anyhow, we hope, in fact, one of your members, I think Don Steincross, may already have volunteered. I think his wife volunteered him. But anyway,
Yeah.
Jane sent a message about it. Hope they will be helping you guys because they're out photographing wildflowers on their own property and other places all the time. They're on the line with the Arkansas Wildflower Facebook site. And I hope some others, and I can't promise who else, but some of you can do that job. So please try to attend. You don't have to be there at 1, you don't have to stay till 5, but if you come for 30 minutes, you'll get a sample of what an unplowed urban prairie can be if it's halfway managed for the wildlife instead of for the code enforcement.
What day is that? What day is
The
it?
27th.
Sunday, this week.
This
This
Sunday.
week.
Oh, this Sunday, I'm sorry.
This was emergency
That's
show
the
up.
Presbyterian thing.
And it's, I know there are lots of other things going on in Bethel, there always are these things, but I hope you'll come out to this. And you can certainly count it as something you did for help with public education, because we'll surely have some people that have never seen these native species before. So, and I've got my phone number on Facebook and probably a couple of newspaper things and so forth this week. And it's 444-6072. If anybody wants to call for details about getting there, or if somebody asks what to wear, I may be wearing this, although you can see my knees are already damaged. That was not by briars, that was by concrete. I made a misstep. But anyhow, you can get by in shorts, and let me show you, because I'm hoping it'll rain before then, and you'll enjoy your muck boots or something. But if you really want to crash through stuff, you just wear some heavier trousers. But right now, there are no ticks. I've walked several times. In the last month, I have had ticks get on me out there. In fact, they're not out there the way they are in the thickets or in your wooded areas. Even earlier this summer when they were so bad. And no chiggers, so I can't swear that because some people track them. I'm from Louisiana, mosquitoes don't even bother me. You know, they had so many in Louisiana, I don't even notice them here. My wife will be saying, mosquitoes are bad. And I said, what? Well, I think you get an immunity fight this month. But thank you. I hope you'll come and share it with your friends and invite them. And it's free, of course, and it's public trail. The Pinnacle Food Company owns the land. Therefore, I'm not inviting people to just walk out there any